The Northern Brain Injury Association presents Police Responding to Persons with a Brain Injury. This video was created to provide basic education about the effects of brain injury and how it may impact behavior. And, although it is about brain injury, many of the concepts will apply to other persons in crisis. We have been specifically asked by survivors of brain injury to share the following points. The first, most important point. If you remember nothing else, remember that brain injury is invisible, and it affects everyone differently. You cannot see brain injury by looking at the person. And brain injury affects the way a person experiences the world, physically, cognitively, and emotionally. The second most important point. Police presence tends to cause a gut reaction of fight, flight, or freeze. This alarm response is magnified by brain injury. An injured brain is unable to think rationally whenever hungry, tired, or under stress. Be aware that they may just be a suspect to you, but you may be a lifeline to them. Therefore, without compromising safety or the task, it is helpful to remember the acronym STOP. Stop. Think. Observe. Plan. How survivors would prefer you to approach. Smile in a friendly way. Remain calm, respectful, and non-threatening. Be patient and reassuring. Use intermittent eye contact to minimize threat. What survivors would like to hear first. An introduction using your first name. Concern for their well-being. Are you in distress? Do you need assistance? Assurance that you are there to help. Encourage the person to work with you. Use we statements. Ask about emotional and physical conditions you should be aware of. Ask for emergency data, such as an alert bracelet or ID card. Invite the person to explain what is happening in their own words. Ask if there is a support person to contact. Thank the person for their participation. When an officer shows respect, it goes a long way toward achieving a positive mutual outcome.
Just approach us like you would anybody else. I mean, your mom or somebody like that. Not like we're a criminal or something, because we're not. And when you approach us in a mannerism that's offensive to us, we get on the offensive right now, and sometimes we can't stop it. And so that escalates for both parties involved, because we don't know what to do or think or say at times, and because it's the brain injury that does it.
Now, let's shed some light on the most common effects of brain injury, along with some suggestions to prevent escalation. Physical challenges. Brain injury can cause sensitivity to light, blurred vision, or double vision. You may notice some survivors wearing sunglasses and/or hats to minimize the problem. Their injury may make sounds extra loud, jumbled, and overwhelming, and they may hear a loud, constant ringing or buzzing. Overstimulation may cause headaches, confusion, and affect their ability to think clearly. It can even lead to emotional outbursts. The person may stagger or slur their speech. Brain injury and alcohol act on the same parts of the brain and cause similar problems. Thus, a survivor may appear intoxicated without having anything to drink.
Hi, my name is Ingrid, and I have a brain injury, and when I don't take my pills, my speech slurs, half my right side dies from head to toe, and I could be in the courthouse or wherever, but if I don't take my brain pills, my right side starts to die. So when police officers see me, they assume that I'm a drunk on the street, so they misunderstand and they ask me to do things, and I try to explain to them how to get me up so they can help me, so I can listen and they will not listen to me, and they assume I'm drunk, and all things go bad from there. They don't listen, and I get frustrated, and I get scared of you guys.
Suggestions to prevent escalation. Whenever safe and possible, respect their personal space. Ensure that the person can see your face clearly and is fully aware of your presence. Try to position the person facing away from potential distractions. Minimize background noise, such as turn down your radio. Ensure only one person speaks at a time. At night, lower the beam of your flashlight to the person's throat or upper chest to avoid their eyes. It can cause seizures and blind those who must lip read to understand you. Cognitive challenges. It is important to know that brain injury does not diminish intelligence in any way. It only changes how information is processed. The person may have a delayed response because brain injury can slow thinking and understanding. This may lead to difficulty formulating a response. The person may have memory problems. They may also give false or unrelated information because, unconsciously, an injured brain attempts to fill memory gaps. This misunderstood condition is called confabulation. Brain injury survivors are genuinely unaware the information is wrong and are not intentionally or maliciously lying. They may experience flooding. This occurs when the brain is overwhelmed and shuts down, making rational thought virtually impossible. It is a temporary condition caused by an overload of too many sights, sounds, thoughts, and demands all at once. After the brain has had a chance to rest, the ability to think will return.
My name is Tracy, and I do have a head injury. And what I experience is flooding and being overwhelmed. When I'm flooded and overwhelmed, I get a deer in the headlights look, that blank look that comes over when there's too much information coming in, and I just don't know what to do. I can't decide what to say, how to act. Just there's nothing that I can do. What happens? I tend to stutter more. I forget what I'm saying. I can't think of what to say. My words don't come out right. What causes this is anything unexpected, a distraction, questions that come at a rapid speed. It gets worse when I'm stressed. The more stress I'm under, the harder it is. And when I'm stressed, more of the emotions come out, which is happening right now. My eyes tend to water, and I don't have any idea why this happens. It just does. I can't control it. There's so much going on in my head. Everything is just, all the thoughts are going. I don't know why. There's no filter that goes on. So what happens is either I say way too much, and either you get a lot of information or than you want to, or I just shut down. And how this makes me feel is it's frustrating for me, and I get fed up because I can't get my message across. It makes me feel guilty because I can't communicate. I can't express myself.
Suggestions to prevent escalation. Ensure the person knows that you are trying to communicate with them. Guide them to a quiet spot where they might think more clearly. Speak slowly, using simple words and short sentences. Give the person extra time to absorb, understand, and follow through on what you have said. An injured brain can only think one thing at a time, so break instructions down into simple steps. For example, Step 1. Please sit here. Step 2. Here is a pen. Step 3. Please fill out this form. Ask if they understand what you have said, and ask them to repeat it back to you. Repeat yourself if necessary. Listen openly. Acknowledge and validate their concerns in a caring tone. Carefully observe responses and behavior for any signs of an internal struggle. Suggest that they take a short break if necessary. Emotional and behavioral challenges. The person may be afraid, anxious, or confused. Strong emotions will cause adrenaline to be released as part of the natural flight, fight, or freeze response to perceived danger. This response is frequently magnified by brain injury and may be expressed as anger. The survivor may display uninhibited behaviors. Damage to the filtering pathways in the brain may lead to emotional volatility, impulsive actions, belligerence, colorful speech, aggressive behavior, and childlike responses. The typical pattern is to speak and act first, think later. Again, this pattern is similar to the effects of alcohol.
I have a brain injury. Oddly enough, most people don't know I have a brain injury. It doesn't show. And I've been asked to talk about anger and how it impacts me as a brain injury survivor. I used to be a human resource manager, and now I'm retired, and I'm living with a brain injury. One of the most significant impacts is anger management, my ability to control my anger. It's kind of like a white hot flash that goes off in my brain, and it just stops me from being able to control my behavior. Oftentimes, that control leads to very emotional and inappropriate outbursts, and that bothers me, concerns me. I think what I'd like people to understand about my brain injury and the impact that stress has on my abilities to control my anger is that I don't control this. It's a reaction. It's not meant to be seen as aimed at anybody. It's not meant to show lack of cooperation. It's certainly not going to show that I'm going to be violent. What I need from people to help me de-escalate myself, because I often can do that within 2 or 3 minutes, but I need the right environment to do that. When people are forceful and trying to control me, it greatly compounds my situation. What I really need is, I just need time. I need time to control myself, to understand what's happened, and to get my thinking back in order.
Suggestions to prevent escalation. Please do not tell the person to calm down. Most survivors will escalate further because this sounds demeaning. They don't want their brain to be out of control, and they don't know how to fix it. If the person's emotions and behaviors continue to escalate, calmly assist them to regain control. Gently point out that they appear to be having difficulties of some sort, and you are there to help. Reduce further triggers, bright lights, noise, commotion, extreme temperatures, etc. Suggest they take a few deep breaths. Give them a few moments to get their thoughts in order. Once they are calm and in control again, resume questioning or other tasks. Seek aid from other professionals such as paramedics, physicians, brain injury workers, mental health workers, emergency social workers, victim assistance workers, etc. If the person continues to escalate and safety is at risk, further measures may need to be implemented as per police protocol. To recap, when responding to a person in crisis call, always try to keep the following in mind. Brain injury is invisible. Brain injury may be affecting the person's thinking and behavior. police presence tends to cause a gut reaction of fight, flight, or freeze. This alarm response is magnified by brain injury. An injured brain is unable to think rationally when hungry, tired, or under stress. Using a dominant approach to a person in crisis may make the situation worse. Remember, they may be a suspect to you, but you may be a lifeline to them. Use the acronym STOP. Stop. Think. Observe. Plan. Smile in a friendly way. Remain calm, respectful, and non-threatening. Be patient and reassuring. Respect personal space where possible. Use intermittent eye contact to minimize threat. Introduce yourself using your first name. Use we statements. Ask, are you in distress? Do you need assistance? Ask about emotional and physical conditions you should be aware of. Ask for emergency data, such as an alert bracelet or ID card. Invite the person to explain what is happening in their own words. Ask if there is a support person to contact. Thank the person for their participation and cooperation. This concludes our Police Responding to Persons with a Brain Injury video. We hope that this information increases your confidence and ability and results in a significant reduction of negative outcomes for you. This video was made with assistance from Persons Living with a Brain Injury, the Prince George Brain Injured Group, Dr. Henry G. Harder, Vicki Shepard, RN, and consultation with law enforcement personnel, including Jim Adams of the Peel, Ontario Police Department, Howard Tran of the Vancouver, BC Police Department, and Lara Davidson of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The Northern Brain Injury Association serves the northern two-thirds of the province of British Columbia. This video was made possible by funding from the Province of British Columbia, the United Way of Northern BC, and the Northern Health Authority. For more information, call 1-866-979-4673 toll-free or visit our website at www.nbia.ca.